Hey guys, Steve Welch. Got another camera here from my friends at Fitcam. This is by far the best camera that I have found for basically integrating into a vehicle. So I always suggest Fitcam, and they've been gracious to send one to me so that I could show you how to install one on a Tacoma. This will also be the same if you want to install one on a new 4Runner. They're actually very similar. So, but I wanted to show you the Fitcam and the install on this beautiful TRD Tacoma here, and follow me inside. I'll show you how to do it. So on the inside, you're gonna see two different things here. This one right here, sometimes people think it's a spacer. It's actually not. This has your wire harness in it. So as soon as you open this, just kind of dump it out. You'll be able to kind of see what I'm talking about. So you got a couple things in here. You got your wire harness in here. You've got your, this is just a tucker, so you can actually tuck in there. You also have a reader, so if you want to read the SD card, that's in there. So if you want to do all of that, then you kind of take a look here. I'm going to show you exactly where this goes here in a second. We're going to kind of put that off to the side for right now and pull out the main part of it here. You'll also see you have your user manual in here, and then you've got a QR to, you know, if you want to scan something there. But you're watching this video to install it, so that's going to help you here. I'm going to kind of pull all this stuff out right here and kind of give you a little bit of a fun stuff on what's in here. Here's the rear camera. So if you want to take a peek, you can see there's a lot of cord in there, and we'll put that in the back. I do want to mention here, just in case I forget to later, you always want to see where that up is, that little arrow, and make sure you don't install that camera upside down. You want to make sure it's the right way. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to undo this here, take out the little bubble wrap. You can pop those later if you want to. You know, most of us have somebody, at least in our family, that likes to do those. So there's the extra piece here, and what you're going to see is you get the piece for the back. You also get the piece for under the dash there, as Southwest makes a cameo behind us. And then I always want to make sure that you remember to pull off that blue. You might want to leave it there while you're kind of working with it. If you have the back camera, you'll have two of these. If you don't have the back camera, you'll just have one of those. Very easy to deal with. And you see these two little spots here. Those are going to be important here in just a second, but I'm going to show you how to actually take it off right now. All right, so what you want to do is you kind of want to move your mirror out of the way there right here, and you're going to pop this piece right here off. So you're going to pop this piece right here off. Just kind of give it a little pull. You can usually find a good spot to give it a little pop off there. It usually falls on the floor, which it just did right there, but you can kind of see how that looks. You also have that new one on the new, piece there. And then you're just going to kind of take your thumbs right here and give this a little push. Once you do that, that comes directly off, and you can kind of get an idea. But you'll see you got these two little clips that are on either side right there, and you're gonna have to take those off. So I always like to kind of give it. So I'll go ahead and I'll pop this down here. If you can use two fingers, you're good. Now, I've mentioned before that you don't really need any tools with this. You can do it without any tools. Sometimes, you know, just having a little bitty screwdriver here could actually help you a little bit, but it doesn't take too much to get them off. I just popped the first one off right there, and then you come through, you're gonna pop the second one off the exact same way. Just kind of, if you can pull on the bottom a little bit with your nail and on the top a little bit with your nail, you can avoid needing that screwdriver. It's not that big of an ask to be able to pull that off. So I've got both of these now right here. So what I'm going to do is I will pull the new piece out, and I'm going to come and pop these clips onto the new piece in the exact same spot as what it was on the old piece. So you just kind of push it on there. Make sure you don't drop these, because these can kind of get a little bit hard to find if they drop somewhere. But then you got that piece that's right there, a piece that's right there. So this is now actually ready to install, but you got to do one thing first, and it's with that little pigtail that I just told you about. So what you're going to look at is you got up here, this is everything that's behind here. You're going to see this little piece here, and it's going to look sneakingly suspicious, or suspiciously close. So you have this little piece up here, and it's going to look very similar to what you have right here. The color doesn't really matter, but it's going to be very similar. So you just kind of grab this and give it a little wiggle. Once you give that little wiggle, once you release it, you give it that little wiggle, it's going to come out. Sometimes it's easier using two hands. So there, and you can see that it looks exactly the same as the white one, just with a little bit different of a color, of course. So then you're going to come through and you're going to pop the white one in to the main connector right here. And once you push that in there, you're going to be good, right? And then you're going to pop this into the back side here. So there we go. So the next thing you got to do is you're going to find out that sometimes this can be kind of tight when you're trying to push everything back in. So you're going to kind of figure out what it looks like for a good routing, which might be something like that, to where you can kind of get the new piece up there and get everything to fit in a really good way. So at this point, I'm going to take the little blue piece off here, set it to the side. You're going to come up, you see this little piece that's right over to the side. You're going to want to go ahead and plug that in to the back one will always say rear. So you're going to plug that one in here in a minute, but you got that plugged in there. I like to just kind of let the rear hang out underneath here. And then you're going to come from the back side. And once you come from the back side, you're going to kind of line this up and put this in there, and it just clicks in place just like that. So sometimes it's harder than others. That one's probably one of the easiest ones I think I've ever done. So it's just good to say that. And then you're going to take this piece that's back here, this little piece right here, and you're going to pop that into the little hole and just kind of clips in there, pops in there for you. Once that pops in there, you can kind of take a look and you can see, looks exactly like what the old one looked like. The only thing that you got a little bit of extra cooling, it looks like in there, isn't going to have a problem with the extra vents for the cooling, I'm sure. But you can see, looks like the same thing. Set that one over to the side, and now you're ready for the backup camera. But as soon as you turn on the vehicle, this camera, or if you had the just the forward-looking camera and not the rear camera, that camera is now ready to go. You know, and sometimes you got to pop that back in there, make it sure it's flush, but you kind of get the idea of what I was showing you there. But that gets you that. And the next thing you'll do is grab your rear-facing camera, plug it in, and then start to route your wires. So you get a bunch of little clips and things in there. Be quite honest, I don't think I've ever used those really. I do it a little bit different. So take the twist tie off, and then, you know, you can kind of see how this goes. For some reason, a lot of times when I'm trying to take this off, I can get them kind of tangled, but it is what it is. If you want to unplug this to kind of route it, you can definitely do that too. But you're going to come up here and you're going to plug it in right here. Now you can't plug it in the wrong way. You just kind of twist it until you find where it lines up, and you can put it straight in. It'll plug in straight that way. And then you start to unravel your wires, and then you can figure out exactly, hello Southwest, you can figure out exactly how you want to route these. Might be, like I said, easier to try to keep it from getting tangled if you kind of undo it. And like I said, I know they probably put it in a way that makes sense, and I have a tendency to tangle wires when I undo them, whether it's Christmas lights, whether it's these. It just is what it is. I tangle everything. So anyway, so now I can run this up top or wherever I want it to run. Usually I kind of pop that back there, and I like to run it up here in the headliner just a little bit. So I run it over this way. This, like I said, you can figure out how you want to run it. There's some people that just peel and stick those things and just run it however you want to run it. I mean, there's not really a you got to do it this way, kind of an answer to that. But I've noticed on these, if you actually run them up here, it can be better than trying to run them down on the floor. But I've done them both ways, and it can kind of just depend on you and how you want to do it. But I'm just running this up here. Like I said, it tends to be very quick to be able to run it this way. And then once you get it to here, you just kind of run around the backside. And then usually I get around to the backside over here and just kind of poke her down over here. Then you can see I've got plenty of wire left, so you can do what you want to do with it. But usually I'll kind of tuck this down into the backside here behind. But if you want to, you can put it in the center. Sometimes people want to put it on one side or the other. But like I was mentioning, you want to make sure that this side up is up, and then you have another little cover that's right here. So you want to remove that cover as well. It's sometimes easier to do than with one hand and than others, but you can kind of see how I just did that. And then you have a peel and stick that you can put on your backside. So make sure you're up, and you can put that on the backside. You can put it in the middle. You can put it off to the side. Basically stick it where you want it. Once you do that, you can tie up the wires however you need to, and more or less you're done with your install when it comes to your Fitcam at that point. But that is the Tacoma, and like I said, the new body 4Runners that you see behind me there, if you take a look at those, you'll be able to see on the inside, they look very similar in that same kind of mount as to what, I don't know if I've got one that's open, but they look very similar as what you'll have in the Tacoma. So I'm going to link both the 4Runner and the Tacoma down below. If you guys want to go ahead and use that link, I'm not being paid specifically from from Fitcam for doing that, but the link does help with the Amazon store. So if you guys want to do that, I would appreciate that. But hopefully I've helped you guys to be able to install your Fitcam, and I once again appreciate the people at Fitcam for sending me one that I can not only help one of my customers with, but also to be able to show everybody else how to install one on a Toyota Tacoma, beautiful red Tacoma. But Steve Welch here, you guys have an excellent day, and I will talk to you soon.